Hi, welcome to this short 10-minute class all about stretching your hips. Go ahead, take a comfortable seat, let your eyes close. Take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Take another inhale. Take another exhale. One more breath in. One more breath out. And go ahead and let your eyes open. Stay with your legs crossed like this. And then you're just going to take one hand underneath your butt, slide the butt flesh back, do it to the other side, slide that butt flesh back. That's going to tilt your pelvis a little bit so it puts your hips into a better position to feel them stretch. From here, just walk your hands forwards. Take a little bit of a forward fold over those cross shins. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. Go ahead and come all the way back up. Change the crossing of your legs so that the weird feeling one is on top. And then do the same thing. Pull one butt back, pull the other butt back, fold over your cross shins. Let your eyes close and take a full breath in. And take a full breath out. Go ahead and come all the way back up and just make your way into a child's pose to start. Have your knees as wide as your mat for today so we get a little bit more into those hips, and then sink your butt back towards your heels. See if you can push your hands down and away from you so that it shifts the weight back into your heels a little bit more, and maybe you feel a little more stretch around your hips. Take a full breath in and take a full breath out. One more inhale. One more exhale. Come up onto your hands and knees. Bring your knees right underneath your hips. And then you're just going to let your hips shift towards the left. Think of wrapping the outer left hip in and back so you get a little bit more of a side stretch here and a stretch to that outer left hip. Good. And then shift your hips over to the right. Think of wrapping the outer right hip in and back, creating more of a curve through that right side body. And then come back through center, tuck your toes under, and come into a downward facing dog. Pedal through your feet, wake up your legs a little bit. And then on your inhale, lift your right leg. Bend your knee, open your hip, try to push more into that right hand so the weight doesn't spill into the left side. Go ahead and step that foot to the outside of your right hand. Take your back knee to the ground. Untuck your toes and either stay on your hands or you can come down to your forearms. And if you're like me and you want to grab some blocks to kind of shorten the distance a little bit to the ground, go for that. Let your hips lean forwards. Do whatever feels good with that right leg. So maybe it's pointing the right knee out towards the right or having the toes facing completely forwards. Good. Climb back up onto your hands if you're down. Tuck your back toes under, pick up your back knee and turn all 10 toes to face the left. Fold forwards in between your wide legs. And you can kind of sway from side to side here. And then go ahead and just crawl yourself back to that low lunge at the front of your mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Bend your knee, open your hip, push into that left hand a little bit more. Step your foot to the outside of your left hand. Take your back knee to the ground. Untuck your toes, take your blocks if you want them. Come down onto your forearms, any amount. Same thing here. Let your hips lean forwards. If your toes naturally want to go out towards the left, let them do it. Or if they feel better pointing straight forwards, let them do that. Let your eyes close. Take a full breath in. And on your exhale, climb back up onto your hands and come back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, step your foot between your hands and come into warrior two. Push your right knee wide a little bit so you get that nice stretch to your inner thighs. Straighten your front leg, turn all 10 toes to the left. Bring your hands into a prayer. Turn your heels in, turn your toes out. Sit your butt back and down into a goddess pose, and then just shift your hips from side to side here, getting into those inner thigh parts of the hips. Come back through center. Turn your left toes a little bit in, straighten out that back leg. Turn your right toes totally forwards. Bring your arms out into a T like warrior two. Come right into extended side angle. For today, you can bring your forearm to your thigh, or if you have a yoga block and you want to bring it to the inside of your leg, that's going to give you a little bit more stretch. Good. Take your hands to the ground, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step your foot between your hands, come into warrior two. Push your left knee wide so that it gets a little bit more into that inner thigh. Straighten your front leg, turn all 10 toes to the right. Take your hands into a prayer. Turn your heels in, turn your toes out. Goddess pose, sit your butt back and down. Shift your hips from side to side. Good. Try to keep your chest nice and tall. And then come through center, start to turn the back foot in like warrior two. Turn your left toes forwards. Open your arms out into that T. Come right into extended side angle, forearm to thigh. Or you can take your hand to the inside of your leg on a block or on the ground. Good. Push your left knee wide here. Get that same inner thigh stretch as you did in warrior two. And then take your hands to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Bring your shin into pigeon pose. Slide that back foot back. Take a block under your head if you want that extra support. And climb back up onto your hands. Step back into one last down dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale your shin into pigeon pose. Slide your back leg back. Take your block underneath your head if you want that extra support. Let your eyes close. Relax your hips towards the ground. Come back up onto your hands, lean onto your left butt, swing your right leg around, and then you're just going to bring the bottoms of your feet together. Have your feet a little bit out in front of you for today so that you're making like a diamond in your legs. And then you're going to take one hand underneath one butt, pull the butt flesh back, take the other hand underneath the other butt, pull that butt flesh back, and fold. If you're kind of close to your feet, take a yoga block, slide it underneath your head. You can even stack 2 yoga blocks if that feels good to you, if that's a little bit more supportive. And if you're not super close to your feet, then you just take that forward fold and think of shifting your hips back and reaching your chest forwards so that you get more into your hips. Take a full breath in. Take a full exhale out. Slowly come all the way back up. And for Shavasana for today, if you want to take Supta Baddha Konasana, you can keep your feet just like this and lay down. Otherwise, you can stretch your legs forwards. If you have any props you want to slide underneath your legs, go for it. And come down onto your back and relax in Shavasana. Let your next inhale be a little bit deeper. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend your knees and roll to your side. And slowly make your way up to sit. Take any props you have out of the way. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and take a full breath in. Exhale everything out. When you're ready, let your eyes open. Thanks so much. I hope that short little class woke up your hips a little bit. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, kateformanyoga@gmail.com. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.